This is how a single car has changed the industry forever. What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to talk about one specific car that completely changed the car industry forever. Before this video starts, 95% of you guys watching are not subscribed, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, but let's get right back into the video. So you guys might be wondering, what car am I talking about that was just completely able to change the car industry just by itself? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the Toyota Supra. So there was a time whenever Japanese cars used to be seen as fuel-efficient economy cars. They weren't fast, they weren't good looking, nor were they able to compete with Ferraris, Porsches, or even Mustangs. But that was up until the Toyota MK4 Supra did come out. This one car had changed everything. It had taken the tuner scene up to a whole nother level, it had brought up the JDM legends to become worldwide, and not to mention, this car is still huge till this day. Like, come on, you can't say the MK4 Supra isn't one of the most iconic cars there is in 2025. Everyone and their moms know the car. But how did this popular Supra go from just being another Celica to something so iconic that it's still alive till this day? Well, that is gonna be my next topic, so let's start breaking it down. So the humble beginnings of the Celica Supra weren't really too bright. The only difference between the Supra Celica and the base Celica was really the size of the car and how big the engine was. There wasn't really that big of a difference in the drivability nor in anything with the transmission. It was Toyota's way of making a budget GT car, which was per usual towards Toyota, because all they wanted to have was a nice economy sports car. Now the MK1 Supra wasn't really anything to be proud of. It looked pretty decent, but it had nothing compared to all the Mustangs and Dodges and even Chevrolets they had all the way back then. But then whenever the MK1 Supra came out and Toyota really noticed nothing really big happened to their sales, the 80s rolled around and they were ready to go for it. Toyota was completely done playing around and came out with not only the MK2, but they also came out the MK3 generation in the 1980s. In this decade, the Supra started to evolve. It got more power. Its engine even got turbocharged, and don't get me started, it got rear wheel drive. And we know for a good combination for a sports car, you need it to be lightweight, good power, and rear wheel drive. That's the perfect combination anyone can have on any sort of sports car. But with all that being said, it still wasn't enough, and it isn't the Supra we know today. So now let's get into the king, the MK4 Supra. Toyota's legend has arrived. This car has it all. Whether we're talking about the amazing sleek aerodynamics or the legendary 2JZ GTE, this car was wanted by everybody. Now yes, you might be wondering, back then the legendary 2JZ GTE was just making 271 horsepower. Well, that's because of the Japanese gentleman car manufacturer deal where they couldn't make their sports car above 271 horsepower. But Toyota had other plans. Their plans involved making such a strong engine that it could take so much power and all you need to do is pretty much tune it. With that being said, back in the late 90s and coming to the early 2000s, this car was pushing 500, 750, or even 1000 horsepower just basically off of mods and tuning the car. Whether you're a rich guy with a Ferrari or you're a broke teenager that just wants a sports car, everyone had their eyes on the MK4 Supra. This wasn't just another Supra, it wasn't just another sports car. This was Japan's mark talking about how they can compete with the rest of the world. Now talking about all these amazing feats this MK4 Supra had, it was just meant for greatness. So let's talk about how it raised the car culture overall. The Supra had became a global icon. With having all these amazing feats, it was just destined for greatness. Thanks to street racing and of course the movie Fast and Furious, Paul Walker's bright orange Supra was such a big deal. It has cemented its place in pop culture history, making everyone know what the Supra is and making everyone want it. But with everyone wanting it, that became a problem for us car enthusiasts. With Toyota stopping the production of the Supra in 2002, the prices for the Supra had just skyrocketed just based off the pop culture impact. The Supra wasn't the car anymore, it was a symbol. It helped people get into cars, whether it made them go into JDM, muscle, or even Euro cars. No matter what bad things I have to say about the Supra, it has brought a lot of us all together to be in this amazing community called the car community. Now the Supra didn't just change the whole industry off of its impact. it had changed the culture. It had made its own culture. A culture of tuning, pushing limits, pushing speeds, pushing engines to levels we have never seen before. This car creating such a big culture, even till today, people are wanting this car and the price just keeps going up and up and up. Suddenly from a humble Toyota Coupe Economy GT car, this Supra had become one of the most, if not the most legendary car there is. This is at least to the main media, and the Supra truly proved how one great car can change everything in the outlook to the car community. Anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching until the end of the video. I really do appreciate it. This is once again one of the story time type of videos, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm trying to get better at this. Once again, sorry for not posting in this last week. I was really sick and I hope my voice isn't really affected. But anyways guys, make sure to like and subscribe, and onwards to 500 subscribers. You guys are the best. Peace.